Welcome to the Team Sammy Podcast. I'm Samuel DeVries, the host, and this is a show where I really just sit back, talk about the NFL, or sometimes specifically the Lions. Enjoy. Lions fall to the Commanders 45-31 in the divisional round. It was a couple of nights ago. Couldn't bring myself to record this until now. It's really tough exiting the way that the Lions did. 15-win season, all for nothing. No playoff win out of it. Lions led 7-0, 7-3, 14-10, and that was the end of it. The minute that ball was in the air that was meant for Tim Patrick, that was picked and ran back for a touchdown, even before it was ran back for a touchdown, even when it was just intercepted. And the Commanders led by 3 at that point, and in my mind they would be taking over at around our 30. I knew that this game was virtually over. Our defense did not come to play. Our defense, which was magical in the season finale against Minnesota, looked very similar to how they had looked in the weeks leading up to the Week 18 clash with the Vikings. And it frankly looks like Aaron Glenn was just more concerned with his future head coaching job than getting the team ready and prepared to go in and face one of the tougher offenses in the NFL. Jaden Daniels, he is unbelievable. I'm speechless in so many different ways, and you could probably hear it in my voice that it is not easy for me to talk about this. It is not fun in any way. Goff was terrible, and even though we ended up scoring on that drive that I'm about to talk about, but when he missed that deep ball to Jameson Williams, that was just another indicator that this could be a long night. The fact that he missed that throw, which is one that he had made all year long. Jameson Williams caught so many deep balls. When Teddy Bridgewater came into the game, there's actually a part of me that was a little bit excited, because Teddy Bridgewater obviously is not what he was 10 years ago, but that guy has more legs than what Goff has. And I was just thinking, if we could get a mobile quarterback in there, they could keep our offense stable, keep our offense moving. Even though the offense wasn't the problem, that was just where my disoriented mind went to. I never want to see Kindle Vildor suit up in a Lions uniform again. I never want to see Zadarius Smith suit up in a Lions uniform again. Who was number 40? No idea who that guy was last night. He had a hyphenated last name. That's all I can remember about him. Never want to see him near our facilities again. The pass rush needs to be addressed. If we go back to the mock draft that I made back mid-April, I had the Lions sticking at 29, I think it was, and taking Darius Robinson. I mean, I would prefer that over Terrion Arnold. Imagine if the Lions had stuck at 29 and taken Braden Fisk, who I had mocked in the first round, and he didn't go in the first round. Look who was right, scouts. It was me. Fisk was unbelievable player who would have helped our pass rush out so much more than guys like Levi Onwuzurike. Levi Onwuzurike, 41st overall pick, I think he was. Get off my team. Get off my team. You are done. You are done in Detroit. We never want to see you again. Jahmyr Gibbs was great, and we just stopped giving him the ball. 14 carries, 105 yards. He was unbelievable. We got one of the famous Kevin Burkhardt uh-ohs that we've heard so much all year with Saquon Barkley whenever he's about to rip one. Jahmyr Gibbs drew one of those out of Kevin Burkhardt, and if we had just consistently given him the ball, there was nothing that Commanders defense could do to stop him. Amon-Ra went over 100 yards. He was great. Sam Laporta had the greatest one-handed catch I've ever seen in my life. But where do the Lions go from here? I already mentioned pass rush. If you have a good pass rush, you don't really need the best defensive backs. It's not a necessity because if you're making a quarterback have to throw under pressure, throw on the run, or have no time to throw at all via sack, you don't need to have the best coverage out there. It's got to be one or the other. You either have to have the most lockdown corners of all time, and then you can afford not having pressure right away, or you better be pressuring with 4 men every play if you're going to have trash corners. The Lions had neither of them. The only bright spots of the defense down the stretch was I was about to say linebackers, but Anzalone was gone for a few. Really, the only bright spot there was Jack Campbell down the stretch. He was unbelievable. If it were up to me, I would have given him second-team All-Pro. Very biased. Don't care. Wanted to see Stafford get his second ring after the Lions were bounced. He almost did it, man. He almost came back against the Eagles. That would have been unbelievable. Bills advance. Lamar can't play in the playoffs. I've said it before. Playoff Lamar is inevitable. He will eventually show up. And yeah, it wasn't Lamar's fault necessarily. It was Mark Andrews. But the point is, the Ravens, with all the key pieces they had, knocked out of the playoffs. You go for two twice in the game, and you went out this offseason and signed Derrick Henry for precisely this, 2-yard gains, and you don't give it to him either time, when even in this game he has been at points unstoppable. That's something I will fail to understand why they didn't at least try that. At least one of those 2 times. They failed both 2-point attempts if you've been living under a rock. But back to the drawing board for the Lions. It's going to be a long off season. I'd love to see the Commanders get to the Super Bowl. I don't see how they stop Saquon Barkley. I anticipate the Eagles win that game by about 10 points, maybe more. And I do truly believe that the Bills beat the Chiefs in the AFC Championship. I would love to see that. Shout out to my good friend Tyler, lifelong Bills fan. Non-bandwagon. His family originates from New York somewhere. But yeah, I'm going to cut it short because it's depressing me even talking about it. It's hard to talk about. So I'll see you guys whenever the next one is. Might not be until free agency reactions or draft stuff. So I appreciate you guys sticking with me. Take care.